Hi there, I'm Abe Nemon, and I'm here to tell you about how to wrap a hardback book using one of our hardback book wrappers. Before we begin, we're going to need to get each of these 4 tools from the workroom. So what we have here is we have binder clips that hold the dust jacket onto the book. We have our bone folder, which is good for making firm creases in the plastic cover. And then we have our pre-cut pieces of tape. So we have like these cut strips of tape on this roll. And then we have a metal rod, which is for putting the tape onto the dust jacket. So our first step is to take the jacket off of the book and to set the book temporarily aside. Next, we go over to this shelf, which has all our different book wrappings, and we want to select a wrapping that's the right size. In this case, we're going to want one that will fit a 10-inch hardback. And the hardback wrappings are the ones that don't have the grid on it, but instead have these perforated edges and this liner that removes. Okay, so our first step is to take the plastic cover of the wrapper and to fold it down. Then we take the jacket and we put it flat, and we want the side that's blank, or the back side of the wrapper, to be against the paper covering. That way you're able to see the nice jacket of the book through the plastic. Then we pull the plastic cover up and we pull it up and over. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip the entire cover over the wrapper and the jacket itself, and we're going to flip it onto the other side. And the paper part of the wrapper has these perforated edges, and what we're going to do is we're going to fold it down so that it comes underneath where the jacket is. So we want part of the jacket to be exposed at the top. Then we fold that down along one of these perforated edges, and we want to slowly tear so that we get a nice clean tear along the perforated edges. Next, we're not yet going to remove our adhesive liner, because first what we want to do is we want to get a fold that's going to push the dust jacket into the bottom crease of the plastic encasing. So we want to push this down so it's neatly snug, and try to get it to be lined up on either side. If we have extra part of the wrapper on one side, we can go over to the cutting tool and cut off any extra wrapper that we may have. But at this point, we want to take the plastic, and without yet removing the adhesive liner, we want to create a nice clean crease. So we want to essentially take the liner and pull it down so that it creates a very neat crease against the top of the jacket. And then to make that crease a more sort of solid, crisp crease, we're going to take our bone folder and apply pressure from the top on that nice clean crease so that our jacket is snug in the bottom of the wrapper. And then we do that all along this nice crease so that we have a very clean crease along the top of the wrapper and the jacket. So next, we're going to slowly remove the liner from the adhesive part of the wrapper. And then as we do, we're going to pull the wrapper down along our clean crease so that we get the jacket pulled snug into the wrapper. So as we're removing, we're pulling down to get that snug fit. And then we can use the bone folder to apply pressure to that adhesive area. So now our jacket is encased in the wrapper, and we have very little or no extra liner sticking up at the top and the bottom. Now it's time to attach the wrapper with the dust jacket encased in it to the book. And our goal is to attach it to the extremities of each of the boards of the book, so really the end of the board, so that this elbow of the jacket and wrapper is firmly attached to the board. So the way we accomplish that is we take our binder clips and we're going to temporarily put them on the ends to affix the elbow of the wrapper to the end of the board. And we're going to apply 4 of these, 2 to each board. Next, we want to have a long, thin object. In this case, we're using a metal rod with a curved end, and our pre-cut pieces of tape. And what we want to do is we want to attach the end of a pre-cut piece of tape to the end of our metal rod, in the direction, with the sticky side in the direction that we want to stick to part of the flap of the jacket. So in this case, and we want to have the rod oriented in a direction that it'll be easy for us to pull it out. So in this case, I'm having the rod angled this way, and I'm just attaching it to just the end of the tape, so it'll be easy to detach. And you can get sort of down here. What I'm doing is I'm pushing it in without having the tape attach until it's as far in as I want, and then I pull the tape down to attach it in the location I want, and then I push my metal rod up and out in order to detach it from the tape. Next, I take the tape and I pull it over the board, and I attach it on the other side to the metal rod. And then I pull up the jacket and I try to use the rod to put it in underneath the other side of the jacket and pull it taut. And then once it's taut against the board, I push down the jacket onto the tape, and then I push my metal rod up and out. And the result is that this corner of the jacket is now snug and tightly attached to the board. And you'll notice that the sticky side of the tape faces this way, outward, so that it doesn't touch the board, and that makes it so if we want to, we can take this this wrapper off and we still have a perfectly fine book in nice condition. You'll do the same thing to each of the other 3 corners of the boards and jacket. And if the tape falls off or it attaches too early, you may just need to pull it off and then start again. And I'm really just trying to get the tape in place, in the right place, before it attaches to the jacket. That way I can have a nice taut. Need to do it again. And you can try to line up the tape for aesthetic purposes with the other side, but it's not that big a deal if they don't perfectly line up. And then once we've done all 4 corners, we can take the binder clips off, and we have a well-wrapped book where the jacket is attached to the corners of the boards of the book, but the spine is free to flex, and we have that extra space here. And it makes it comfortable to carry this book around and to read it.